Hey everybody, it's PDubs. Thanks as always for hanging out upstairs with us and for checking out the channel. I'm back home, I'm rested from vacation, I'm re-energized, and I'm back in my command center, ready to get some content out there for you guys. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about the recent announcements made by iiRcade at their recent Game and Brew event. I was there live along with many other content creators as well as members of the iiRcade gaming community as well as the iiRcade team, and we had an absolute blast at this event. And sure enough, one of the announcements, they made four. This was one of the announcements right here, Galacticon, my dudes. That's right, Galacticon. This is a game that was actually requested by a lot of community members in their Facebook groups to the iiRcade team saying, hey, we would love to see this game. This is a modern retro game. This is a game, if you like Joust, if you like Defender, if those two games got together, hooked up on a Saturday night and had a baby, it would be Galacticon. I actually own this game on Steam and I actually enjoy it. I think it's a fun game. I'm looking forward to checking it out on the iiRcade. It's only $4.99, which is the same price as it is on other consoles. This is the kind of stuff that I personally get excited for whenever iiRcade releases stuff like this because, in my opinion, guys, this is the stuff I want, like modern retro games that these other arcade companies aren't releasing. That's just me personally. I know people out there want their Froggers and their Mortal Kombats and all that, but this is the stuff I want to see that makes this platform different than others, etc. So I think this is a nice game pickup for iiRcade. And if you like those kind of games, Joust, Defender, you'll like this game. If you don't like those kind of games, guess what? You're not going to like this kind of game. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Also, the second announcement they made, and this one I found very, very interesting, is they are going to be releasing a firmware update, my dudes. And in this firmware update, they're going to have the ability, coming soon, hasn't come out yet, where if you own multiple iiRcades, because there are some owners out there who own multiple iiRcades, or they're considering about purchasing a second one, etc., that they're going to have, not only have they been slowly rolling out online gaming, so for us to verse each other across the country, etc., and that's still in an alpha, that still needs lots of work, that is nowhere near perfect, ready to go. Not only will we have the online gaming for playing people outside our home, but local LAN gaming. That's right. So, you know, two iiRcade machines can be connected together to give you up to 4-player gameplay where you could all play the same game at the same time in your home on your network connected to both machines. So some games like Ninja Kids is a 4-player game. Some games like Night Slashers I think is a 3-player game. Games like that, as they come to the platform, or if they're already there, I'm not going to go over the whole 300 games list and figure that out. Those games will have local play, so you can connect multiple games. It would be really cool to see, like, you know, some of the things happen, like, I don't know, beach buggy racing and stuff, where you're able to, you know, race another person who has the same cabinet. I think that's pretty cool. Look forward to seeing that coming out on their platform very, very soon. Now, the other big announcement, or one of the big announcements, probably what they might call the biggest announcement, which, by the way, guys, I streamed from the iiRcade. I know I was place. I had terrible cell phone signal. My apologies for that. Terrible cell phone camera. So, but hey, man, over 4,000 of you have checked out this video in the last couple of days, and I greatly, greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. We had close to we had over 500 people watching at one time at one point. Greatly appreciate your guys' support. And we all got to see at the same time that iiRcade revealed their Open Accessories platform is going live. And the first thing, or one of the first things that you're going to see, is Sinden light gun technology capability. That's right, Sinden has released the drivers necessary for you to take your existing Sinden light gun, or Sinden, I don't care how you pronounce it, don't hassle me in the comments about how you pronounce things, I could care less. The Sinden or Sinden light guns, if you guys already own them, the good thing is you can plug these in when the firmwares come out, and you'll be able to play light gun games with these on your iiRcade Gold Edition cabinets that have the USB port. Now, the first light gun or shooting game announced or revealed was Operation Wolf. So in my opinion, that's a pretty decent shooting game. That's a fun shooting game. It's a classic. Everyone knows Operation Wolf. And I'm excited about it. I myself tested the light guns, and sure enough, once they were calibrated, the first time I started firing it, the calibration was off, but I think maybe it was because someone else was using it before me, whatchamacallit, and they And sure enough, once it was recalibrated, it worked pretty well, my dudes. It worked pretty well. No complaints. And it was a fun experience. So seeing that where you're going to be able to get their open accessory platform, get your accessories that you may already own or are considering buying because you're not obligated to, working on their system is pretty cool. Now, there's a lot of information out there about what's going on with all this, and there's a lot of people who are confused, a lot of people who are upset, etc. So what's really nice is iiRcade did a live stream yesterday. I finally got a chance to watch the replay. Glen from Glen's Retro Show was on, and they were able to walk us through all the facts regarding this particular platform. So for instance, my dudes, when it comes to these light guns and stuff, keep in mind these are not first-party light guns. iiRcade is an arcade console, and console is the key word. And with them being an arcade console, their goal, or what they're wanting to move to, is to open themselves up, in their words, be a playground for other developers out there who manufacture accessories and peripherals to be able to use those to play games on their platform. Hence why they went with Glen's Retro Show, one of the best accessory and peripheral makers out there. Now, keep in mind, guys, that this is all optional. No one is forced to do anything. Obviously, whenever these games are released, they will be released on all iiRcades, whether you have a first generation, whether you have a gold edition, or maybe they have another edition cabinet come out in another year or two. The games will be released on all the platforms, and yeah, I mean, they're going to release them. You can buy them, play them. You'll have a joystick and 6 buttons. I mean, that's their current control setup. But if you wanted to take advantage and play the games a different way, they're opening up their platform for you to optionally choose and say, hey, you know what? I want to buy a gun, or I have a gun, and I'm going to plug it into my gold edition, and I'm going to play it. So they're trying their very best not to leave any owners left behind. So for instance, what they're going to be doing, and again, this is all optional if you decide to. You don't have to do all this, which is great, is if you want to, Glen from Glen's Retro Show will be releasing this swappable control panel. He did confirm on that stream with Jong that it's just going to be plain black, and obviously this is just a prototype, so all the screws and the rivets and hell, even the final locations and colors of some of the things you see on here might be different, but it will be a plain black panel. You can decide to add your own artwork later. I'm sure guys like Arcade Graphics, Sabo's Arcades, so there'll be guys out there who might offer graphic replacements to match your existing cabinets if you want to, but it sounds like this is going to be black to start with. It is going to have spinners. It is going to have your joystick, your buttons. It is going to have a trackball with a light up LED ring. One thing that it looks funny seeing the spinner above the joystick and the buttons are here. But obviously, he said this is all prototype. Everything's subject to change. You'll notice there's some rivets here. Those rivets and their purpose is going to be revealed very soon. This is for future expansion, maybe future accessories, additional accessories that you can connect. And of course, you'll see the USB stick sticking out of there, and that's what you use to connect and play your light guns on the Gold Edition cabinets. Now, keep in mind, if your only goal on Gold Edition cabinets is to plug in a light gun, you don't need to buy this panel. This panel would be if you also wanted to use a trackball or spinner for playing games. So it's pretty nice to see this from Glen and his team coming very soon to the iiRcade platform. Prices, availability, all that hasn't been revealed yet. This is just the prototype, and basically they wanted us to let us know that it's coming. Now, when it comes to original owners, this particular control panel, guys, will be available for original owners, and it will be connected via Bluetooth. Glen did admit, and it's just the way it is. If stuff is connected via Bluetooth, obviously there's going to be some lag. There might be some input lag. Bluetooth will never be as fast as a wired connection. So some of the Gold Edition owners will have an advantage there. But again, Glen, as well as iiRcade, are committed to not leaving Generation 1 owners left behind. At least with this control panel, they're going to do their best to make sure that it's Bluetooth compatible and Generation 1 owners can pick it up and use it in the future. Now, the funny thing, though, of course, is although it has a USB port and you could plug a light gun into it, there's really no way for the light gun signal to be transmitted via Bluetooth yet. But obviously, Glen said that they're going to be talking and working with folks out there to try and make this happen. So hopefully that can happen. That way, Original 1 owners could play light guns as well It sounds like they'll be able to play trackball, spinner games easily, joystick and button games easily. The light guns, it probably will happen. It's just going to take some time before it does happen. And we'll have to see how the experience is going to be once it does happen. Overall, between the swappable control panel, and what's really cool about the swappable control panel, Glen's going to have his 4-way, 8-way gate switchers in there, which is really cool. So if you decide to play, hey, I'm going to play Burger Time, I need 4-way. Oh, hey, I'm going to go play a different game and I need to switch to 8-way, that kind of stuff. Galacticon was a good game release in my opinion. Operation Wolf, obviously, iiRcade will be releasing more shooting games. This is just the first one that they've announced. And hopefully they'll release some pretty cool ones down the road. But this is a pretty decent one, in my opinion, for them to start off with. And it's super fun to play. And everyone at the event was having a great time playing the game and checking it out. Once the guns were calibrated, the experience was really, really good. Really, really good using their 19-inch monitor. Even with that little white bar, with the 19-inch monitor, I didn't even notice the white bar. I was so focused on shooting the helicopters and stuff. And then, of course, 4-player LAN compatibility is pretty cool as well, or 4-player, 2 cabinets connected, internet working capability. That's pretty cool. I could see a bright future for that down the road as well. So overall, I think it was a pretty positive Game and Brew for iiRcade. There's a lot of really interesting and exciting stuff in the works, and we'll all have to just be patient and see how everything flushes out. Definitely want to get your guys' feedback and reactions to all the news that came out over the weekend from iiRcade, as well as this video. Leave me those comments when the video's over. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed this news update, give me a thumbs up on the way out. And as always, my dudes, thank you for subscribing.